We're looking now at the Equalizer. David is out of, as we mentioned earlier, Tennessee, right close to Nashville, Springfield, Tennessee.
Now the Equalizer, a 1997 Chevy S10, 540 cubic inch engines producing 1,400 horsepower, something that weighs about 10,000 pounds.
And that is we used to build maximum weight. We wanted trucks that weighed 20,000 pounds because they thought that looked good when they crushed cars. But nowadays, you cannot weigh less than 10,000 pounds in monster truck racing. And these trucks, I would venture to say you won't find one here tonight that weighs 1,100 pounds. I would say probably the situation on these trucks, they're weighing in at 1050, somewhere in that neighborhood. David Morris, 8 years he's been at it, married, got 2 children, and lovely wife. She is a great person to be around, and David's sitting in the truck right now.
TNN's Motor Madness, the first of many live Friday nights of competition. We're going to be bringing you all year long here on the Nashville Network as we continue to expand our live motor racing coverage for you. Walt Yarborough, Mike Galloway, and Ralph Shaheen, we're ready to bring it all to you. I hope it's warmer where you are. If it's not, we're about to hear it. Here we go.
All runners lead well with the truck. You've got to land with your tires cut to the left on both sides of it. This is the first time around. They've got to go back to the respective set of cars before the finish line. And let's take a look.
Looks like the Equalizer was... Whoa, we got a big problem for the Executioner.
The Executioner, and that is something that is just unbelievable. I've never seen this kind of thing happen. But what happened, he hooked the left front tire. Well, I'm sure.
So he's going to try to get the truck back together. Back up to you guys.
Well, there you can see, not only did he hit the rear of the
You are looking
trunk,
at the Equalizer, which is going to go up against SAMSON here in round number 2 of the obstacle course. There's those big biceps of SAMSON.
Dan Patrick and David Morris. This is going to be a great race. Not a good race. I mean a great race. These guys are both pros. Look how he comes off of it.
around the turn down.
Patrick, I do believe at this time, but right now it's going to be the final round. Patrick takes out a pole.
I think Equalizer put him away.
I do too. David Morris, even though Patrick took out the pole, got a little short shot on it, Morris comes back, hammers it. He's there. Let's see what happens.
Take a look at the finish line again. Whichever one crosses those poles first, yeah, it's Equalizer.
About a half a fender. You know what? Good as mild.
Here it comes.
They're both getting around the courses tightly. They know that they got to come off the turns with the wheels cut to the left to get around the tight course. We've seen a couple of that didn't make that. So it should, all in all, Ralph, I'd say it's going to be a great race. Not a good one, another great one.
Should be a great matchup as you go on board with the Dragon Slayer, ready to work those rear steers.
Up in the left-hand corner, you see the Equalizer pulling into stage. Morris is ready. There it is.
The Dragon ready to slay the Equalizers. Run away with the obstacle course final.
Boy, Equalizer is out by about a half a truck in that line. David Morris is just really doing a great job. Now probably a full truck length. This looks like a David Morris.
Oh, my God! The truck stalled. Equalizer had him in the gun sights. Mikey had him dead to rights.
It was there, but, you know, as we've said so many times, it's what racing is all about. He's fired it up. It's going. It wasn't anything real disastrous on the truck, but there's your winner. Look at this. Equalizer's moving. David,
I'm down here with David Morris, and David, you had it all won. What in the world happened?
I don't know. The temperatures here are so cold. We may have a fuel problem. When it went into turn down there, the motor died, and it never did come back on me until it was too late. So that's the brakes.
Well, I tell you what, your Equalizer looked great, but it was the Dragon Slayer who took it all today.
Yeah, there's a lot of good guys running here tonight, and you know, you can't give any of them any slack, and you have a problem, and it's over with then.
Okay, well, it was the Equalizer shutting down right at the finish line, and it was Christensen that took it all. Back up to you, Ralph Shaheen.
Right on the line. Now they move in ever so slowly. Morris would love to beat Patrick, and it could happen.
Not tonight. Not tonight. I think the biceps were bulging and got to the line first.
Looked like he got by just
a knuckle.
Makes him knuckle deep.
Oh,
I don't know. That was a great race. That was absolutely a very, very close race.
Let's take a look at the finish once again, and you can see from the exhaust how the SAMSON truck got a great jump. Yep, he got him by maybe by a whole wrist.
It could be a wrist in that. There's a truck out of Springfield, Tennessee. It's all Chevrolet front to back. This young man, privateer, but really does a great job with it. He's tough. He really is tough.
There's a good look at the Equalizer. The stats on this big truck: 540 cubic inches, pumping out 1,400 horsepower, living on alcohol.
Takes just a little bit longer to warm an alcohol motor up. You want to run them just a little bit warm. A gas motor, you run cool, it builds more horsepower. Got to get these motors warm. It's cold outside. They've been inside for a while, but it still takes some time to warm them up. Right out in front. Now let's see what happens. This is really close at this time. Very, very close. Now the turn. I believe Equalizer's in the lead.
Can you believe that?
Rattled the rafters. I think we have had an upset.
That is huge. Equalizer has put it to Bigfoot. And I guarantee you Dan Patrick got a big sigh of relief out of that.
Oh, no doubt about that. But here's the thing about it. They're going to be down around if they got to go again. He would like to. Here's the finish. White pole in the middle. And what is that? Truck link he beat him?
He got smoked, to put it blankly.
What a great finish.
Welcome back to the Peoria Civic Center, where we just got through watching a huge upset in our monster trucks. Fred Bartson?
Yeah, that is a big upset, and I got the driver of the Equalizer right here, Dave Morris. Dave, big upset.
Yeah, you know, we're not really sure what to do in here. The dirt's kind of sticky, and we don't know if it's going to hook the truck, cause it to turn over, if it's going to slide. So as the night goes on, we'll know more about the track, so maybe we can get better and better.
Yeah, and pull up another big upset maybe in the drag race. Back to you, Ralph.
Well, the worst he can do out of this, Mike, is now 50 points coming out of the obstacle course, which is great for Equalizer.
David Morris, that would be a great shot in the arm. 50 points, and then he just needs to run well in the drag racing. Not necessarily win it. He needs to be up at the top, but he needs to run well in the drag racing.
Equalizer, well, what you're looking at, put away Bigfoot. That's got to worry old Dan Patrick a little bit.
I think Patrick tuning this motor, changing the fuel pump last weekend, putting a fresh pump on it, putting a little more pressure in it. This is in car with Deal Wilson. Unstrapping.
Watching from inside the Virginia Giant.
That's a safe place to be.
Yeah, not bad.
Who do you like, Ralph?
You know, that Equalizer truck could be on a roll tonight. He got a good start.
Boy's driving this course. Beautiful. Look at the power. Look at this place. He is so on go for this course.
I'll tell you what, if they'd gone one more time around, he'd have lapped it.
The truck ran extremely well. I have to give the truck that. But you've got to give David Morris credit for driving this track the way he did. Off the cars, tires cut to the left. On the cars, off the cars, tires cut to the left again. He is absolutely smoked.
Look at that.
He on a roll, Ralph.
He was half a lap ahead of him, Mike.
Ralph,
no doubt about it.
You know this business, you call that one before the race ever started.
Oh, my. Well, the Equalizer. Now, this is what I find really interesting. Last week, Dragon Slayer comes out of the mix. Claims King of the Hill has the bye at Indy. What if Equalizer comes into Peoria, puts away SAMSON, puts away Bigfoot? He'll have a bye. The biggest trucks in the business right now are sitting on the side, staring at the fact they might have to run round number 1 at Indy.
Oh, that would be a pressure situation now. Well, here's the way it all sifts out this evening. Equalizer on top and SAMSON in the number 2 spot.
So 60 points to Equalizer, 50 to SAMSON. Will set 40 points to Bigfoot and 30 to the Giant. Wow.
They're going to carry all of those into the drag racing portion of this competition.
Well, Fred has made his way over to a very excited, I would believe, driver of the Equalizer. Fred?
Thanks, Ralph. Yeah, I got Dave Morris here. Dave, you're all over that thing.
Yeah, we're getting hot out here now. We're starting to figure out the course a little bit, so You know, we done good in the roundy round. We'll see what we do in the straight line.
Now, what do you got up your sleeve for the straight line?
Well, you know, hopefully we just got the motor set and the clutch and everything where we can pull a good hole shot. We're running against some major horsepower here, so we're a little bit under horsepower for the straight line, but hopefully we'll get it.
Right, well, that's Dave Morris in the Equalizer running hot tonight.
It's going to be close. Well, I'd say it's a critical race right here for David.
This is huge. This could be the King of the Hill on the line right here.
One thing's for sure, they've done.
What's this, Mike? We got a bit of a smoking problem going on here?
No, I think that's just a little heat that's coming out of the engine. They've got tubes that come out of the valve covers, run down to the back. It's just a little steam coming out of it. He's not in any trouble.
That's the back of the Equalizer you were looking at. Here we go. Bigfoot, I think, huh?
I don't know.
Boy, that was close.
It was so close. Both the trucks about the same out.
We got the word. It's Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Wow. Oh, boy. Now, if Bigfoot can go on and win the drag racing portion of this thing, we're going to have a tie. Look at this.
Well, Foot picks the front end up, and here again, I think we may be into this loose lane, that far side.
Well, I got to agree with you, Mike, because Equalizer was right there with him, and had he had just a hair better lead, it might have gone the other way. I think that
for the
lane is coming
Equalizer
apart.
to win this race.
Get those 40 points for finishing third. I think he can do it, too. He's got the better lane, and he's always got a good leading truck.
You know, it's just as important for SAMSON. He's sitting in second place after the first round with 50 points. One of these guys needs the points. Both of them need them bad. All four of these trucks are just so close that this drag racing is going to make all the difference in the world.
Well, SAMSON's got to be frustrated he didn't get the bye in the King of the Hill Award last week, losing that to Dragon Slayer, and he might not get it here.
It will be good. They're leaving with the light. Motors are way up. These guys really are intense. I think SAMSON's in a bad lane, though. That lane tore up earlier real bad when he left with it.
Oh, I think SAMSON got him. SAMSON got him, Mike. That is not what the Equalizer wanted to see.
Well, that's going to put the Equalizer with 90 points.
Here's a look at it.
Patrick picks the front end up. Boy, he leaves well. He's probably a foot and a half in front of the Equalizer.
You take a look at David Morris and the Equalizer. I had a one-on-one conversation with Guy Wood, and he told me he's been doing a lot of research and development. He's going to have smoke blown out of the nostrils of the bulldozer shortly.
Oh, then that thrills you to death, doesn't it, Ralph?
To no end.
I can see the gleam in your eye.
I am much more excited about that than the possibility of ever having a banana Slurpee, let me tell you.
Ralph, the bulldozer won't make the cut tonight.
He's winning it all. Here we go.
We are at a bad vantage point. I really couldn't tell who won, Ralph. Okay, it was the bulldozer.
Truck. Thank you. And the Equalizer on the other side.
Now, Ralph, this is third and fourth place. We have seen in several previous rounds of competition the winner of this race becoming King of the Hill. This race is so very...
Jerky Maker has trouble getting out of the gate again.
Well, we heard him say there was no low gear on the truck. Once it goes to second gear, it leaves well, but he just can't leave the starting line.
An Equalizer gets the win and will get the 40 points for taking third in this event. So Jerky Maker's going to have a tough night now because
just in a lot of trouble in the drag racing unless he can get it to leave in second gear.
Now the next two trucks coming out. Executioner and the Bulldozer.
This is the Equalizer, a beautiful pass on this truck. David gets the truck into the corners well, brings the back of it around. You can see Jerky truck not wanting to run tonight. Once he gets to second, he's all right. Dave kind of slows down, knows that he's got it, wants to save it. He wants to win the drag race.
Executioner on the left.
The winner of this, Ralph, comes back to the bull.
And almost into our lap goes the Executioner.
I thought it was coming up here with you. Boy, he stuffed a hole shot on that one. That was a great hole shot.
He sure did. Watch the Executioner launch out of this one. Pretty good 50-cent part.
Take a look at that. He leaves a truck leak on him.
He'll go on board with it.
David Morris, look at this. The Executioner, he's a truck out in front of him before he ever starts.
Yet. Now, Dave Morris in the Equalizer has had some problems. He was unable to make the first round of the obstacle course, and he's going to stand by right now with Walt Yarbrough.
Well, we're down here with Dave Morris, driver of the Equalizer. Dave, you've had such a great year on the obstacle courses, but you weren't out there tonight. What happened?
Well, we've had some tranny problems and had a clutch problem. We got it fixed, but now our clutch is too loose to go back out for the turning course. Taking a lot of RPM to move this truck, and we'd really rather tighten the clutch up. We hadn't really got time to do it right now.
Well, I tell you what, 1,700 horsepower out of this thing on the Equalizer. I can see why clutches can be so important. But what about the side-by-side? David, will your team be able to get the Equalizer back out there for that?
Yes, we're going to make the side-by-sides. It's a little touchy on it. We could make the last round roundy round, but with this thing taking so many RPM to move it, we're afraid it'll burn the clutches out of it. So, hopefully we'll go out there and make the first round of side-by-sides.
So we'll see David Morris, the Equalizer, in the side-by-sides. We're not going to be able to see him in the obstacle courses, but I tell you what, a little bit's better than none because you're a great driver, David. Our pleasure. Back up to you guys.
Hey, thanks, Walt. Mike, that is huge. He is such a great turner because the way that truck is set up, unable to show it here tonight, he'll get no points for the obstacle course.
He won't get points from the obstacle course, but he'll come back and run the drag racing portion, I hope. When he said high RPM, there's no telling what the stall speed is on that truck, and it not only hurt the clutches, it can hurt the truck, too.
He's going to make his first appearance here. Here we see the brackets. Bigfoot and SAMSON are going to run, Equalizer and Bulldozer, and then we're going to have our final and crown the king
of the hill.
Of the hill. That's exactly right. Well, Equalizer had problems earlier, Mike. He's making his debut right now.
Going to be very interesting. It said the clutch was a little loose on it. To make this work, it's like a centrifugal clutch on a go-kart. You have to bring the RPM up real high before the clutch goes together. I wonder how high he's going to have to bring the RPM to make the clutch come on.
There was a good look at the Bulldozer. He was the fast loser from round one, and so he's now going to be bracketed with the Equalizer. Again, the winner of this will move on to the finals as they get staged and look for the flag from Jim Harbuck. He points to him. They say thumbs up, ready to go. Great jump for the Bulldozer. And, Mike, that was the difference.
Well, we know now that the RPM had to come up real high to make the truck leave, and he just couldn't make it leave quick enough with the RPM that he needed. Bulldozer, lost the first round, but come back.
Well, we're going to take a look at it again. They ought to put a big piece of jerky up front there because he just chewed his way through this.
That's a good run. That is what? Fender
Very
and a
nice.
half. Even though he lost the first round, back at it. Gosh, the Equalizer, David Morris, has had a extremely difficult year.
Yeah, this is not an easy draw either.
Not at all. Now, he moved into this by virtue of the Young Gun truck exploding a motor before he ever he went to warm it up this afternoon. It kicked the rods out of it. And that put David Morris into this round against Bigfoot. Boy, would this be an upset. And it is close. Now, Morris is excellent on turns. He is so good on turns. Look at Dan Runstone. You're riding with the big blue.
Boy, he's spectacular on the turn. Wow.
Not wanting to stop, but it does. Dan Runte beat him on the turn.
On the second turn, because the first turn went to Equalizer.
Yes, the second turn, Runte was in trouble. He was behind at that point. Now, look at this. Equalizer is in the lead when he makes it around that pole. But look at Runte. Picks the left front tire up, cuts it so close, he comes out. A truck in the lead. Equalizer picks up a half a truck. It's too late.
Poor Equalizer went into that turn thinking you had an upset.
But you got to think that Bigfoot Dan Runte has, you know, maybe he's worrying about Sky. You need to worry about the Equalizer first.
That's a very good point. And the onboard with Dan. High up above the arena floor, inside Bigfoot.
Not too often you get to go to the office with someone. But he is sitting in the office. Bigfoot covers him about a half fender. Equalizer working on him. Equalizer knows what he has to do on this turn, though. Picks the left front up. This is going to be good.
How about that for an upset?
That young man went to school on his last race.
He sure did.
I like to see someone that figures out where they made their mistakes and corrects them. He did it.
And Bigfoot is not going to the finals of the obstacle course. And when it comes to the King of Hill, that's going to hurt him.
Bigfoot leaves. He's off about a fender. Now Equalizer comes and makes a great turn. Dave has done so well on these driving courses. Now he's going to stretch the lead out a little bit. Watch him pick this left front tire up off the ground on the left front tire and zings it to the finish line. What's that, a half a truck?
And here's the in-car with Bigfoot.
Oh, and that's not a pretty sight when you see him in front of you like that. RII, remote ignition interrupter. That is to make sure that they have, these trucks are the only racing vehicles in the world that someone other than the driver can shut the engine down, and they're testing those radios to make sure the motor's shut off.
Here we go. Finals of the obstacle course.
It'll be a good one. Oh, look at the guy go. Look at now. They got he's Executioner's out on front of him. Executioners. Can he do this?
He's going to get him. The Equalizer is going to put it to him. Unbelievable.
Ralph, is it possible he saved the best for last?
Mike, I never thought, no offense to Dave, to the Equalizer truck, but the way I saw this snake bite machine come off the line, I thought he didn't stand a chance.
Oh, yeah, he left on him, and the front end was up when he hit the car, so he had good momentum. David Morris just outdrove him in the turns, and I didn't think that was possible either.
Unbelievable. Watch the turn here, the final turn.
Sky gets it on its nose a little bit. That hurts him when the truck has to wait on the truck to set down. He doesn't get around the curve quite like he should, but look at this. 2 truck lengths out in front of him.
Equalizer did a tremendous job of getting around the corners.
Everything goes right. Everything goes right for that young man. And he deserves it. He's had a tough
it's
year.
a great win. It is an absolutely great win, and nobody is going to be upset to see. And look at that. Perfectly right in front of our camera so you can read the Lucas sign. That's the way to make your sponsors happy, Dave.
He is very happy right now. And Dave, I got to ask you, how surprised are you that you got what you called to me earlier the good lane?
Well, you know, I thought I was in the good lane that time and the times before in the back. It's a little congested in the corner down there with the dozer and fences, but I'll tell you, I was having fun out there, you know, and I just got to thank everybody that helps me, Lucas Oil Products and Tommy back at the motor place and Tommy's Auto Machine. They keep me going.
Now, how can you do in the side-by-sides later on? You think you can be king of the hill tonight?
I'm not sure. We're a little down on horsepower right now. We got a smaller motor than some of the guys, but we're going to give it everything we got.
All right, David Morris, he's halfway there.
Just like we saw with Dozer.
Both sides of the track are biting extremely well. I don't think there's any difference in the 2 starting lines at this moment.
No, I haven't seen a bad lane yet, really.
Recently,
drag race.
right, and we saw Bulldozer pull the front end up and run well in the far lane. We've seen Snakebite do it twice. Could you tell?
I think it was foot. Equalizer looked like he got off the line great, but I don't think he left him at the line like we thought he needed to.
Didn't leave him at the line.
Foot gets the win, we're told. So Bigfoot stays alive for now. And, you know, as you said earlier, Bob Chandler here tonight. A lot of pressure on this team to perform here on national television.
Look at the Equalizer truck come on at the finish line. He does. Beats him, not much, but he comes on real good.
Does it make a difference as they launch off the cars?
Yeah, it'll make a difference in the attitude of the truck when it goes across the finish line. Bigfoot beats Equalizer in the first round of the obstacle course. Equalizer came back fast loser and beat Bigfoot. Let's see if the same thing happens this time.
Equalizer read the flag beautifully, Mike, and Bigfoot goes down again.
This is very, very close. This start was so close.
Oh. Watch this. I think Equalizer won this, Mike.
He read the flag.
Sure he did.
Took him to school again, Ralph. We talked about this earlier.
Watch this out of Dan Runty's view.
Watch on the right-hand side of your screen and see if you see the Equalizer. You never see that truck. That's how close they were.
Really difficult. Oh, boy. To pick a winner. In fact, I don't think we should. I think we should just sit back and enjoy this one. What do you think?
Don't bother me, and I'm enjoying the race.
Here we go. We hope you're enjoying it with us. The finale for King of the Hill. The Snake wins the drag racing portion. Oh, boy. What a great way to close out this season.
We have officials that do this for us, Ralph. And
good thing, because our math ain't that good.
That is calculate the overall winner. This snake stands to strike. But just like the Cobra, look at that. It comes up ready to strike. Sky heavy on the throttle.
Mike, not only did he lift the front end, but the back end of the truck.
Kevin Pugh is one of them. He is the director of the United Sports of America. He's going to present the trophy to the King of the Hill for the season for the Pro Arena Trucks to Joe Brozovic. And to the King of the Hill tonight in Indianapolis for the Monster Trucks, David Morris. Those are your big winners here, folks.
Oh, and what a great night of racing it was. Brozovic and Morris getting crowned King of the Hill. Well, you know, we've had a great season of racing here with USA Motorsports and their Monster Truck and Pro Arena Truck Challenge Series indoors, some of the better facilities in this country. As we close out tonight's show, we want to take you back for some of our highlights in the '97 season.